Dating can be challenging enough as is, but when the pandemic hit, that created a whole new set of problems. So joining me now to discuss some new trends in the dating world for 2021 is Clare O'Connor with the popular dating app Bumble. Good to see you, Clare.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. Do you agree that that's true? When the pandemic hit, things changed for a lot of people. Some broke up, some didn't, and it changed the whole landscape of dating.
Absolutely. In the same way that it upended our professional lives and our social lives and kids' schooling. I think one trend we've really noticed is the rise of what we're calling slow dating. So a whole 55% of folks on Bumble reported that they're really taking time to get to know folks online before moving it offline. So whereas in the past, it might have been swipe, match, message, date, go for drinks. Now it could be months and months of video dating and phone calls and really being intentional about what you want and thinking about what kind of relationship you're looking for.
It's interesting because I think at first that feels bad as a dater. You would think, I just want to meet them and see if there's chemistry. But there's something kind of old fashioned and a little unique about it that might lead to more friendships, which is, I think, where love truly comes from.
Yeah. And I think that, it's a great way to make sure that your values align with someone, and that you're really, not just jumping into something, that there's a reason behind it. So I think, this slow dating, getting to know someone better, there's of course a huge upside to that.
Yeah. Okay. What is this new dawn dater? You said there's a rise in these new dawn daters, and there's obviously people then who have had, breakups during this pandemic time.
Yeah, that is a term we coined on the back of our latest research. These new dawn daters, it's actually a huge number of people on our app. About 1 in 4 folks getting onto Bumble are doing so after having broken up with someone during the pandemic. So that is whether they were separated by distance because of lockdowns, or whether it was a case of suddenly you're spending 24/7 with someone and you're thinking, maybe this is not for me. So we're seeing these new dawn daters get on the app, and it seems like they're doing so with real enthusiasm and optimism.
I like that. Okay. It's interesting. I think a new start, can be good for many people. So what do you think people are looking for? It does feel a little daunting. I did appreciate the statistic that you guys sent us where it said 40% of people are kind of are confident that they don't know how to date anymore. So what are people looking as they embark on this dating adventure in 2021?
Yeah, that's a great question, and one we've really been digging into data to look for. One thing that I found really heartening is that a whole 56% of our community has said that they think 2021 is going to be their year to find love, which is so wonderful. But I do think, the ongoing uncertainty with the pandemic, it's sort of an even split right now with our users, about half saying that they're looking for something serious and about half wanting to keep it casual. But I think, we don't know when this pandemic is going to end. So I totally understand why that would be the case.
Well, I got to share with you that our producer, Paul, actually met his wife on Bumble, which I think is adorable. So, I know I've got I'm not kidding you, probably close to 10 friends that have met their spouse on Bumble. So I do think it works. And I think that's what people are afraid of. Can it work for me? So what are some guidelines or some tips you have because I know you've got this dating guide.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm so thrilled to hear that. We've got a ton of tips, but I will say that specifically sort of regarding the pandemic and COVID, it's obviously changed a lot. Every aspect from, how to get to know someone to intimacy, safety, everything, mental health. So we've put together a really comprehensive dating guide. So if you go to bumble.com/dating guide, there's just a ton of advice and tips from experts, from an epidemiologist to a sexologist to a therapist. And then, of course, get yourself to Bumble and download the app and give it a go for yourself.
And what age frame do you think is appropriate for Bumble?
Well, we've seen 18 all the way up to 80 plus. It really runs the gamut. Our community is really growing. And we've got folks all across the gender spectrum and beyond the binary. So we're really proud of this community that we've been cultivating.
Oh, well, I'm hoping that those 50% who think 2021 is year for love are right. So thanks so much for joining us, Clare.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And for more information, all you got to do is visit bumble.com/dating guide.